everyone. Welcome to another installment of Chaturday. I just realized the desktop audio is muted, so let me unmute that so you guys can actually hear the music in the background. There we go. Hello. We are going to be talking about quite a bit today. I'm going to let people roll in, give people a couple minutes. Here. I know it's been a hot minute since I've done a Chaturday stream, so let me just put this in here, and then let me go. Sorry guys, give me one quick second here. Come on. I guess I'll just do this. Okay. Sorry guys. Okay. Alright, hopefully everyone is doing well today. We're going to be talking about some things that have been circulating around regarding Nintendo Directs. Obviously, there's been some rumors about a Nintendo Direct happening at some point in the next couple weeks. So, since you chatted after all, I thought you were having mental health. I was. I posted a tweet about it this morning. Yeah, I'm still not doing too great, but since I haven't done a Chaturday in, like, I want to say 2 months, at least, like about 2 months, I figured I should probably at least do a Chaturday, even if it's a little shorter, even if it's a little lower energy. I at least wanted to do a Chaturday because I woke up this morning feeling a little bit better, so, you know, figured I might as well still do the Chaturday even though I officially canceled it, which will probably suck in terms of the viewership because most people probably think still that it's canceled, but you know, it's what it is. It's a smaller, cozier stream. That's okay with me. So let me, I guess, I want to see if there's a way I wanted to structure this, because, yeah, so Nintendo Direct, let me, obviously there's been a lot of rumors and rumblings about a Nintendo Direct happening, within the next, couple weeks. Let's see. Hey there, Luz. I'm doing okay. How are you doing? But yeah, there's been rumors about Nintendo Direct floating around, potentially happening in the next couple weeks, and I wanted to address it because it's really hard because, like I said, I want to say I said it in the last Chaturday that I did, but with this being, like, with the Switch 2 being the new Nintendo console, we're basically we're doing a complete reset, reset on basically any franchise that could be shown off for the Switch 2. Excuse me. And, like, you know, we could, like, there's been rumors going around about Camelot, that Camelot are, like, cooking something up, which we could expect, right? The last thing they released was Mario Golf Super Rush back in, like, 2021, I want to say. So I think it's highly likely that they could show up with the first Mario sports game, being obviously either tennis or golf. I would assume they're doing tennis first, just because it just did golf. Tennessee Zach. I'm getting to do it in a bit. Bananza really is a lot of fun. We'll talk about Bananza in a little bit. But yeah, I know I haven't streamed in a while. I've been very, very freaking busy. Like, there's been so much going on that between too many games and the Switch 2 coming out and life in general, there's just been so much going on that, like, I literally, this weekend is the first weekend, I say since the Switch 2 launched, that I'm actually, like, at home, not doing anything, like, just relaxing for a weekend. So, you know, it's nice because I don't even know when I'm gonna get it again. So it's nice to be able to live stream. Like, that's the thing about Chaturdays. That's why I'm glad I've not committed myself to making Chaturdays a weekly thing, because I just can't. There's absolutely no freaking way. It's been a lot. So yeah, like I said, I did stream on Thursday. I did stream some of Donkey Kong Bananza, but yeah, before then it was like, alright, like I did a couple Mario Kart World streams, but like, yeah, the last like sitting and talking to you guys stream, the last Chaturday stream was before the Switch 2 launched, so nearly 2 months, which is kind of crazy. I just saw DK Bananza. This is my uncle works at Amazon. I swear to God, I read that and I thought you were about to say that your uncle worked at Nintendo. I'm sorry. I've heard that so many times. I got it for only $66. Nice. Good little discount there. Does that include like tax and all that? Like, was it $66 after tax? Cause that's nice. And last week of the month, Tomodachi Life sequel will be in that direct. I completely forgot about Tomodachi Life and Rhythm Heaven until the other day. I was like, oh yeah, those two games are coming out on the Switch. They exist. So hopefully Nintendo shows them off. Cause it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be kind of like when the Switch 1 first came out, and they're like the directs were kind of split between like 3DS and Nintendo Switch, and obviously, like, back then it was kind of like, oh, like, we've moved on from the 3DS. Like, I remember when Luigi's Mansion 3DS was shown off in the direct. I was like so excited, but then so deflated when I realized it was on the 3DS and not the Switch. But at least now, even though the directs are going to probably be split into original Switch and Switch 2, at least you can play Switch games on the Switch 2. So even if something gets announced for the Switch, there will be the disappointment factor of, oh, so this isn't going to be as good looking as Switch 2 games. But at the same time, the benefit is that it will be playable on the Nintendo Switch 2, and it'll most likely have some sort of Switch 2 version. I'm expecting Tomodachi Life, I mean, Rhythm Heaven maybe, but Tomodachi Life especially, I'm expecting to have like a Switch 2 enhanced version. It's kind of what I'm thinking they're going to do. So we're gonna see, or at least like maybe not have a Switch 2 edition like Mario Party and Metroid Prime 4 and all that's gonna have, but at least have a patch specifically for the Switch 2 to like increase the resolution or frame rate or whatever the case is. I have the new Mario sports game is baseball. If it's baseball, then we will probably see it on the Switch 1, I'm honestly assuming, because Bandai Namco, they're the developers behind the Mario baseball games, and they haven't released anything in a while for Nintendo, I don't think. I mean, I don't know if they're working or helping out on the Kirby Air Riders game, because obviously Sakurai worked a lot with Bandai Namco for Smash Brothers, so I don't know if there's that kind of collaboration there for Kirby. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, if it's Mario Tennis or Golf, that's obviously going to be Switch 2, and I guess Mario Strikers as well. But I honestly think with how poorly Strikers specifically was received, obviously Mario Golf Super Rush was received pretty negatively. Mario Tennis Aces was pretty lukewarm at first, and then people grew to like it. Golf Super Rush, pretty much no one really enjoyed. And then Strikers, obviously, was another... I don't know if it was a sales flop, but reception-wise, people did not like it. I feel like the main reason Strikers probably sold as well as it did, if it did sell well, is just because of the name, because of Mario Strikers and how much people have wanted Mario Strikers over the past 10 years. But I expect... if it's not baseball, then I do think we're going to see either golf or tennis from Mario. I do think, because there are rumors that Camelot is cooking something up, like I said earlier, and I do think that it does lean into the possibility of golf or tennis coming out. They could also just as equally be working on another Golden Sun game, because Nintendo has been reviving a lot of dormant properties. So, I mean, like with Rhythm Heaven and Tomodachi Life, for instance. So I do think it is also possible that maybe Camelot's cooking up another Golden Sun game, or if Nintendo's pouring more resources into Camelot, maybe there's both in development. But like both a Mario sports game and Golden Sun. But we're gonna have to wait and see. That is one thing, like I said earlier, that makes it so exciting about the prospect of the next Nintendo Direct, as well as the Nintendo Directs, I'd say for the next 2 years, is that because we had that reset of new system, anything's on the table. Literally anything. The Mario sports games are back on the table. I mean, obviously something like Mario Party isn't on the table. We could see 3D Mario. We could see a new Zelda. We could see a new Splatoon. Well, we already have Splatoon Raiders, but we could see, like, there's so much that is on the table and available, like, for us to see. WarioWare. Like, there's so many titles that could make it, whether they be ports or remakes or new games. There's so much possibility. I mean, new games specifically, obviously. But so I've seen you stream, been loving the Switch 2, and Luigi 2 HD is over a year old. I know, right? Luigi Mansion 2 HD is already over a year old, which is kind of crazy. I do think, honestly, I'm gonna say it right here. I think that the next Nintendo Direct, I think Luigi's Mansion 4 is going to be announced. I do think that Luigi's Mansion 4 will be announced at the next Nintendo Direct. I'm thinking it's not going to come out until next year. I think Luigi's Mansion 4 is a safe 2026 title, in my personal opinion. I think it's a safe 2026 title, unless Nintendo want to hold on to Luigi's Mansion to be later. I can see them releasing, the only way I don't see them releasing Luigi's Mansion 4 next year is if they're going to be releasing a 3D Mario next year. Or at least, well, it depends too, because obviously, like I don't think they'd release 3D Mario and Luigi's Mansion right next to each other. But if they did one earlier in the year and one later in the year, but at the same time, I don't know if they would do that. So it's kind of complicated, right? Like, because of Donkey Kong Bonanza, will we have to wait a while for a new 3D Mario? Will Luigi's Mansion be something they slip into 2026 to fill the time even more? I don't know. We'll have to see. I am far in Bonanza, but lost like heck. I'm only on the. I mean, after my stream yesterday, I haven't played it since. I've just been busy. Have you already recorded your Nintendo Direct predictions? I haven't recorded them yet. Just with how my mental health has been the past couple days. I'm glad I had the Random Encounters interview for this week, because this week I was just not feeling it. I was like, I don't know if I can record a video. I'm probably gonna be able to film something tonight. I highly doubt that the Nintendo Direct is going to be this week, so I'm almost tempted to hold off on recording it for a little while longer. Because obviously I got to record a Mario Party video, because Jamboree Switch 2 Edition comes out this coming week, so I got to do a little video preparing for that game. So I almost just want to say wait on the Direct predictions and just like wait until like next weekend to record them or something, assuming that maybe there is going to be a Direct the following week, but we'll have to see. That's right, and I hope it's baseball. I hope it's baseball too. Like, I hope we see Mario Baseball as well. But the thing is, with how poorly the other 3 sports games have been received, even Tennis Aces, even though that one's like definitely built up a little bit of a better reputation, Golf and Strikers still really soured a lot of people's views on the Mario sports games, which sucks, because like before this, I mean, yeah, we had Mario Tennis Ultra Smash on the Wii U, but before that you had freaking Mario Golf, Mario Golf World Tour, I think, on the 3DS, which was a really good game. We had, I mean, there's like Mario Tennis Open on the 3DS, which is like an okay game. But then you had the GameCube generation before that, because there wasn't any Mario Golf or Tennis on the Wii, which was weird. I mean, they have the new Play Control Mario Tennis from the GameCube on the Wii, but that doesn't count. So, like, you know, then you look back on the GameCube generation with Mario Golf and Mario Tennis on the GameCube, and those were both phenomenal games. And the Game Boy Advance versions as well, phenomenal games. So it's like, what happened? Where's the disconnect? But, like, at the same time, Mario Strikers also suffered a lot of the same things that Mario Golf and Baseball had, and they're done by two different studios. So I don't know if it's like a Nintendo idea, where Nintendo was like, look, let's release the game with a base amount of content, and then finish up the game, release the last remaining characters to keep the game, you know, having longevity. I'm hoping that's one of those things that they learned people did not like. People didn't like it with Mario Tennis. People tolerated it because it was the first title they did it with, but then people didn't like it with Mario Golf. People didn't like it with Mario Strikers. People didn't like it with Switch Sports. People don't like that approach unless you give us a solid amount of content at the start. That's why if like Mario Kart World offered more characters and things through updates in the coming months, people won't mind that as much, because Mario Kart World is already loaded with content. So we'll see. It's gonna be a bold take, but these are my two predictions of 2026 for Switch 2. Smash Bros. Ultimate Switch 2 Edition, Open World 3D Mario, Ocarina of Time Remake, Luigi Mansion 4, and Pokemon Gen 10. Alright, let me address all of those one by one. Smash Ultimate Switch 2 Edition, I can completely see. The only hard thing is obviously if they're going to resell the game. I'm assuming they might have to pay another license fee, but because of the fact that it's Smash Ultimate and people will buy it, if there's like maybe they throw in a couple extra stages or like an extra character or two, I don't think they're gonna go balls to the wall crazy with new content if they are to do a Switch 2 edition of Smash Bros. Ultimate. But to have like a whole complete package of everything, you know, where you're not required to get the extra DLC, like it's just all on one cartridge or all on one download, I think it would do well. I think it is a smart decision, especially if Sakurai is focused on Kirby Air Ride right now and isn't even really doing anything with Smash Bros. At the moment. I think that's a very smart thing for them to do. So I agree with Smash Ultimate Switch 2 Edition. Open World 3D Mario, I also see them doing. I'll be honest, I am kind of getting tired of the open world trend that feels like everything has been doing. Pokemon's leaned into it. Obviously, Zelda leaned into it. Mario Kart now has leaned into it. It just feels like every game is trying to do it, and I'm kind of getting tired of it. I don't care. Like, if they have like just a big open world 3D Mario, I would just be like, okay, cool. Like, the thing is with 3D Mario, it has its own unique formula that it basically started with Super Mario 64. And I feel like if they just go and ditch that and decide, oh, we're just going to make it open world, I feel like it loses that charm and just makes it like every other 3D platform. Like Sonic, for instance, went open world, and it got received decently well. But I just don't see that open. I mean, yes, there was Bowser's Fury from Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury that attempted it. But I feel like the main reason it worked was because it was a bite-sized, short experience, and the world wasn't that big. If you wanted a full 3D Mario game, you would have to have a really big world to accommodate how long of a Mario game that is. And I just feel like it's unnecessary. I feel like it's unnecessary. So yeah. Ocarina of Time remake, I'll be honest, I could see that one. I could see them remaking Ocarina of Time, especially with the Zelda movie. Like, with the Zelda movie, like, they've announced the cast, they're starting to roll with it. It's coming out in 2027. We got the release date, it was like May 7th or something like that. I could totally see Ocarina of Time being remade. I could see a full ground-up remake, too. I don't mean just like a remaster, because they've remastered that game a bunch of times. I mean a full ground-up remake. I mean, I think the 3DS version counts as a remake. I think it's really called the 3D remake, but regardless, I could see them remaking it. Heck, if they even just take the 3DS remake and polish it, I think people would still buy that. I feel like, I don't mean like the Luigi Mansion 2 HD treatment of taking the base game and just touching up some things. I mean like taking the 3DS version and just like tearing into it, rebuilt, like almost like what they did with Metroid Prime Remastered, right? Where Metroid Prime Remastered, it's the same base game, but they went in, they tore it and like changed a lot of it to where it feels still recognizable, like, oh, this is Metroid Prime, but the visual overhaul is astounding because you can see it. Luigi Mansion 4, again, I think that's highly likely. Pokemon Gen 10, there's a Pokemon Presents this week. I don't think they would show that off in Nintendo Direct, because I think there's a Pokemon Presents coming up this week, right? Like on like Tuesday or something. So I don't think, if there is a Nintendo Direct, sorry, I'm sorry, I must have misread, because it's just your predictions for 2026, not Nintendo Direct. But yeah, I can see that. 2027 Mario Party guaranteed. Yeah, I think 2027 could have a new Mario Party. I'd even be as bold as to say we could even see a new Mario Party in 2026, because I feel like, honestly, Jamboree TV, I'm gonna be honest, has probably been done for a little bit now. Like, I feel like it's something, like, it's not something that took up a whole lot of time at Nintendo Cube. So I feel like this probably been sitting around for a little while, Jamboree TV. I don't think it's something that they were working too heavily on. So I can even see as early as next year, like late next year, obviously, like October-ish time next year, earliest, for new Mario Party. And Peach getting a new game would be pretty cool. Let's see. Mario Maker 3, that's an interesting one. I'd be interested to see if they did a Mario Maker 3. I think Luigi Mansion 4 works in 2026 because it's Luigi's Mansion's 20th anniversary that year. True, it would be their 25th anniversary. God, 25 years of Luigi's Mansion, that's freaking crazy. I doubt we have to wait a while for the next 3D Mario game. Yeah, it's probably going to be a little while. Or it's probably not going to be that long until the new 3D Mario game, because obviously they want to get it out. But I do think, I don't know, it just gotta, it depends on how much of the team's resources went to Donkey Kong Bonanza. Because obviously, the team that made Donkey Kong Bonanza had a lot of help from like outside studios. You can see it in the credits and all that. So I'm assuming that there are resources, or that there are parts of the team that worked on that game, and some that were working on other projects. And I think that's highly likely that Mario, the new 3D Mario game, could come as early as next year, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to come out this year, only because it's July already. If there's a new 3D Mario game coming out this year, I feel like we would have heard about it. But next year, I do think is kind of very likely. We could see something like a 3D Mario remaster or something come out this year, like whether it's Galaxy 2, a re-release of 3D All-Stars. It could be anything. But we'll have to wait and see. Luigi Mansion 4 open world would not be amazing, but I'd love the idea of a valley rather than just one mansion. The best way for them to honestly blend open world, because open world for Luigi Mansion's, in my opinion, a stupid idea. I think, if anything, like the valley with like Luigi Mansion 2, like there could be like paths and stuff like that, like in Wario World. There was like a central hub, and then there were little paths leading up to each, world. Except with the power of the Switch 2, I feel like you could get away with having the central hub, all of the like little paths leading out to each individual mansion, and then all of the mansions are just in that world. It's not like Wario World where you have to like transport to the world. With the power of the Switch 2, you just walk up the path. You're there at the mansion's right there, you walk inside, and then it'll obviously load you into the mansion. I feel like that would be awesome. I would love to see that. Like that, but that's as open as I'd want it to be. I want the mansions themselves to still feel claustrophobic and creepy, because think about it, right? A lot of issues, like let's say with Donkey Kong Bonanza, right? Donkey Kong Bonanza, there are certain issues of frame dips, a little bit of pop-in, but all of that has to do with how open the world is and how much is going on in the environment. with Luigi's Mansion, because of the fact that it takes place within a mansion, you can really get, like, you on the Switch too, I feel like you could get a really good looking game by confining a lot of it to within the mansions and each room having a lot of detail, because of how small those environments are and how little would actually be needed to load each room individually. I feel like that would honestly make Luigi's Mansion 4 a really good looking game. But like, I mean, obviously, Luigi Mansion, or did I say Luigi Mansion 3? I meant Luigi Mansion 4, whatever. If I said Luigi Mansion 3, whatever. But yeah, it could make Luigi Mansion 4 a really good looking game. But then also, it could make it a really well-performing game. The performance of the game could be really, really good if they don't make every room big and grandiose, because they did do that in Luigi's Mansion 3. Excuse me, a lot of the rooms in Luigi's Mansion 3 just felt too big. Because, like, let's take Castle McFright, for instance, right? On that floor, there are multiple just open rooms, which made sense for the floor, but it's not what I want to see out of Luigi's Mansion game. But like I said, if you give those smaller claustrophobic spaces, because like I said, not only is it great for, you know, performance and the graphics, whatever, to make the game look good, but it would also just be good for the atmosphere of the game. I feel like Nintendo, in the past 5 years-ish, have been changing their tune on Mario a little bit. They've been willing to step back into the weird, hence why they remade games like Super Mario RPG, Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, and they've changed up the art style with Mario Brothers Wonder and continued it with Mario Kart World. And and Princess Peach Showtime is a very unique game, and they changed up Donkey Kong. They're willing to experiment a little bit more again with Mario. They're not so rigid on the art style, on all of this crazy stuff that they used to be. So I'm hoping that means with Luigi's Mansion 4, that next level games, I mean, I'm hoping next level games can do it. Because listen, I am a purist of the original Luigi's Mansion, but I've grown to accept the new art style that was started in 2. Okay, so I say new, but it's been around since 2. But like the art style that Next Level Game introduced in Luigi Mansion 2, I'm fine with that now. As much as I prefer the semi-realism of the original game, I'm fine with the style that Next Level Games has brought to Luigi Mansion 2 and 3. Like, I'm fine with it now. But if they, like, just tone back the goofiness that the ghosts are, that Luigi's animations are, they just tone back that goofiness and make the game a little more spooky. And I don't know. I mean, you guys know my thoughts on Luigi's Mansion. You guys already know all that. Mario's 40th anniversary is also this year. You think All-Stars 2 with the guys doing 3D Land? I don't know if they'd include 3D Land as well. I mean, they could. But I mean, it is Mario's 40th. The 40th is a weird year, admittingly. 40 is a really weird year because, like something like the 50th is a really big year because not only is it a round number that ends in a 0, but it's 50. It's half a decade, geez, half a century. But 40 is just kind of the weird period in between 30 and 40, because 30 is also kind of a big one. But 40 is just kind of like, okay, 40 is, But they did celebrate the 35th, which is a really weird decade to celebrate, or really weird milestone to celebrate. So I don't know, but we haven't heard much. I mean, granted, you can count Mario Kart World as part of the celebration because it's part of the 40th. But we'll have to wait and see. I would love to. I'll be interested to see. I do feel like if we do get a Nintendo Direct, there probably would be a little more Mario than before, because as of right now, I mean, we got Mario Kart World. Donkey Kong, I'm kind of counting as its own thing. I'm not really counting that as a Mario game because Mario's not in it. But, like, Mario Kart World is the only Mario title for the Switch 2 that we know about. So, given it's Mario's 40th, I could see them doing a little bit more, or, like, detailing a little bit more about future Mario games. That's why, like I said, Mario sports game, like tennis or golf, I think is pretty likely. And they could throw, like, Galaxy 2 out there or re-release 3D All-Stars. I can see all of that happening. Let's see. I got even mail this morning from Amazon. Oh, yeah, you told me about that. The Amazon discount. It's pretty cool. Is it worth getting a Switch 2 yet, as only Donkey Kong, Bananza, and Mario Kart World is the only Switch 2 games? I mean, listen, with the Switch 2, right? Because whether or not you get it now or later is almost irrelevant because of the fact that you can either get it now, play the games that are available on it now, and then when a new game that gets announced that you are excited for, like whenever something gets announced that you're excited for, you don't have to worry about getting the system. You already have it. You just got to get the game at launch. Or if you wanted to wait until the game comes out, then you could do that as well. There's no real benefit, pro or con, about if you get the system now or if you wait. Obviously, don't pay scalper prices. Don't do that. Thankfully, I haven't seen too much of that, though. Nintendo's done a decent job with stock, honestly. Like, even though places have been low, they're doing a decent job, at least trying to get them out there, and the scalpers aren't too horrible. But it just depends. Like, if you have the money to get it now, like, if money isn't an issue, like, if it's not, if you're not holding back for any sort of financial reason, then I'd say you might as well just get one now and sell your Switch so that the cost is less for you. Sell your Switch OLED, your Switch Lite, whatever you have, and get the Switch 2 and, you know, not have to worry about paying as much for that. Or if money is an issue, then yeah, then wait till whatever game you want, whether it be Luigi's Mansion 4 or whatever the game is, you can wait till that comes out. And by then, stock will probably be more readily available, so it'll probably be easier for you to get one. But there probably won't be any difference in the prices of anything. I mean, if anything, how the tariffs are. I mean, we haven't heard much about the tariffs recently, so I'm thinking the prices that we have are going to stick. I mean, I know in Canada they went up, but here they haven't. So, I mean, if you want to play Mario Kart or Donkey Kong, then there's no real benefit to waiting for the Switch 2. Like waiting for later down the line. If that makes sense. See, Galaxy 2 is the one 3D Mario game I haven't played yet. Hoping it's put on Switch 2. That'd be pretty cool. I kind of hope it does too. Mostly for that reason, that it's kind of the last big one. I mean, 3D Land, yeah, sure. But, like, if you have 3D All-Stars and they release Galaxy 2, then, like, you got everything on there. Like, 64, Sunshine, Galaxy 2, Odyssey, 3D World, like the Switch is just the platform for 3D Mario. But like that's the one thing I do love about the Switch is that, or like the Switch 2, and that's another thing too. If you wanted to play the GameCube games, if the GameCube games are a big deal to you, if those are something that, because I'm assuming we're gonna hear about another game being added to the service in probably the next 2 weeks, or honestly, if there's a Nintendo Direct next week, or not this coming week, but the following week, in 2 weeks from now, then there probably will be a GameCube announcement on there too, I'd assume. Because I'm kind of hoping that they're doing one once a month, and it's going to end up at the beginning of the month because that's when they started the trend, right? They did 3 games when the Switch 2 came out, and then they did Strikers at the beginning of this month. So, let's see. Will they do a Switch 2 OLED and wait for that? If they do a Switch 2 OLED version, it's not going to be for a few years. It's not going to be like something they do next year. If anything, they might do a cheaper version, like a Switch 2 Lite, I think. But they're definitely going to do a cheaper, not as, like, big, not as, you know, like a lesser version of the Switch 2 before they do the little upgrade, the OLED screen. They're going to wait a few years for that, in my opinion. How do third-party games run on the Switch 2? Pretty good for the most part. It's a whole complicated conversation of how the game itself was actually made that dictates how much better it runs on the Switch 2. For example, if there's a game, a third-party game, like I think Battle for Bikini Bottom is an instance of this, rehydrated of course, where the game itself on the Switch 1, I believe, was locked at 30 frames per second, meaning that 30 frames per second was the cap. That's the most the Switch 1 version can do. Not because the Switch 2 version can't, not because the Switch 2 can't handle it, but that's just as much as the game itself will allow. That's why when you hear things like uncapped frame rates, meaning that if the hardware's powerful enough, it'll do as much as it can. So that's why some games would need an update to run at 60 frames per second as opposed to 30. So like Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrate, like I said, that game runs at 30 frames per second. And the Switch 2 could definitely handle running Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated at 60 frames per second. But we would need Purple Lamp Studios to actually go and do an update manually for the Switch version of Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated to support 60 frames per second on the Switch 2. Which I don't see many companies going back and spending resources. I mean, it can't be that much to just change the capability of the frame rate, right? And I did get a haircut, yeah. I didn't put hair gel or anything in it today because I was lazy. So, yeah, I got a haircut. But yeah, so like if a game, like I said, like Rehydrated, that runs at 30 frames per second, but on the Switch 1 had a lot of stuttering and like decreased, then those frame rates were smoothed out. Any game that had a cap at 30 frames per second but couldn't quite hit it would run at like maybe 25 to 20 or would like dip. Those games all run at a solid 30 frames per second, at least the ones that I've personally played. Plus, the benefit of some games having a decreased loading time. I noticed that Rehydrated's loading times were better. They weren't like amazing, like they weren't like super quick like some of the other platforms, but the loading times are definitely less on the Switch 2 compared to the Switch 1. But then you have other games, like for example, I know on GVG they've been covering this, the Resident Evil games, right? Resident Evil 5 has an uncapped frame rate up to 60. And on the Switch 1, the game would kind of run in like the 30-40 and would hop around a bunch. But because of the Switch 2's power and the fact that Resident Evil 5 has an uncapped frame rate at 60, the game can run at a smooth 60 with no issues. So how well or how much better a third-party game performs from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2 completely depends on how that game was made. If you noticed a game that has a lot of frame rate stuttering, a game that seems very jittery, very choppy, then that game is going to be smooth as butter on the Switch 2 compared to the Switch 1. Whether it be a 30 frames per second smooth or a 60 frames per second smooth, depends on the game and what the cap is. So, it's hard to answer on a general basis. On a general basis, yes, third-party games run better, but how much better depends on the game itself. How is the battery in non-docked mode? It's pretty low. I personally have not had any issues with it. I know a lot of people are complaining like, oh, it's not enough. I don't game long enough to where that's been an issue for me. I usually only play for like an hour or two at a time, usually when I'm playing in handheld mode. So the battery life hasn't been an issue to me, but I can see it being an issue if you're on a long flight, if you're on a long car ride, if you're doing any kind of lengthy travel or just like lengthy play session, you're gonna have issues. But if you're playing it for like an hour or two, not an issue. Like if you're a busy person and like you're not playing games like in bed for hours and hours and hours at a time, the battery life isn't going to be an issue for you, in my humble opinion. Let's see, is Hogwarts Legacy on Switch 2 good? Yes. Oh my god, the Hogwarts Legacy on the Switch 2 is a much needed upgrade over the Switch 1 version. It's night and day, miles better. There are still parts of the game that you do need to load into, like, as opposed to the other versions where all of it's just open, but it's nowhere near as egregious as the Switch 1 version. And I don't know if they're still doing it, but if you get the Switch 2 version, it's literally like a $10 upgrade for the Switch if you get it on the eShop. So I don't know if they're still doing that promotion. I don't know if it was like a launch, like, if you get it within the first few weeks, then like, it's gonna be cheaper. But it's a great upgrade, a huge upgrade. Do games run better than they would on an OG GameCube? Yes. I did notice when I was playing Mario Strikers, there was some input lag, and there were some, some graphical bugs, some minor graphical glitches. Nothing too egregious, but it was noticeable. I mean, on the whole, like, it's a great way to play GameCube games portably, right? Like, just being able to take out the Switch, open up the GameCube NSO app, play any of the games on there. Like, yeah, that is a blessing. I do hope that they update it more just to make the emulation of those GameCube games smoother. I haven't played anything online yet, so I can't speak to how the quality of playing online with friends is, but it's really, really good. Do you think Nintendo will remake Paper Mario 64? And if they do you think it'll be on Switch 1 or Switch 2? Do you think it'll be called Paper Mario? It'll be called Paper Mario Refolded? I don't think they're gonna remake the original Paper Mario. I mean, I feel like the reason they remade Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door was because it was a huge fan request. It's like the most popular Paper Mario game. It's the one everyone was asking for them to remake. It's the one that whenever people talk about this style of Paper Mario, or the style of like Paper Mario RPGs that they like, they always go back to Thousand Year Door. Many games are inspired by Thousand Year Door. I just think the Thousand Year Door I don't want to say had a bigger impact, but people look back so fondly of it. They call it the perfect sequel, and it was just what Nintendo needs to do. And like, especially with the fact that you can play Paper Mario on the Nintendo Switch Online app, I think makes the need for a Paper Mario 64 remake a little redundant. I think they're just going to focus on making a new Paper Mario game that maybe takes mechanics and things from the older games. Kind of like with what they did with Mario Party, right? Where Mario Party Superstars came out, where they went back to basics. They went back to what made the series well-known and loved in the first place. And then with their new game, Jamboree, they took a lot of inspiration from old Mario Party and made a really good new Mario Party game. Which still feels weird to say, that in 2024 we got a freaking stellar Mario Party game that's almost as good, or not, if not is as good, as the GameCube Mario Parties, and the N64 ones. So, I think they're going to kind of do the same thing with Paper Mario, where they kind of rebooted it with the Thousand Year Door remake, and they're just going to make a new game and move on, and do new things with Paper Mario, but still take a lot of inspiration from those older games. Like I said, like with what Jamboree did. What about GameCube Pro Controller? Any good? Sorry, a lot of questions one go. It's all good. The GameCube... here, let me grab it. Oh, Jesus. Tripod, please don't fall over. Please don't fall over. Oh, that's why. The legs are uneven. Stay. So, the GameCube controller on the Switch is great. This is the NSO... GameCube controller. It's great. The only thing is, the sticks don't click in. So, like, Luigi's Mansion 3 is unplayable because of that. And the triggers are reversed. So, like the triggers on the Switch 2 Pro controller are mapped to these. And then the bumpers on the Switch 2 Pro controller are mapped to these. So it just makes it kind of awkward to play some games where you have that kind of muscle memory, like Luigi's Mansion. If you want to vacuum, you can't use the right trigger. You have to use the Z button, and using the Z button to vacuum just feels sacrilegious. So, I mean, it's a great controller for the GameCube NSO app, and any games maybe like, I can't even recommend it for something like, I don't know. Maybe I need to boot up Super Mario 3D All Stars again. And see, like, I don't know if I think the bumpers work for that though. I don't remember how it worked, but either way, yeah. Let's see. Do you want Luigi's Mansion to run good on S? I mean, I would hope it run good on NSO. How's Cosmic Shake run on Switch 2? I think I played a little bit of, I tried it out and it runs well. Cosmic Shake runs well. It ran well on the original Switch as well, but it runs well on the Switch 2 as well. I'd recommend it if you have obviously the GameCube NSO app and you want to use an authentic GameCube controller for it. I think it's BS at Jamboree Switch 2 of it, and the board has got to get the upgrade for free, otherwise there'd be no incentive for you to get the upgrade. I mean, the thing is, as much as I would love new boards, it's not something that I feel like Mario Party Jamboree needed. Like it wasn't something where it wasn't like Superstars or Super, where it was like, ugh, there's not enough boards. 7 boards is one of the most that any Mario Party games had. I mean, obviously we don't count. I mean, Star Rush had all of the. Forget Star Rush, but like Mario Party 1 had 8 boards, and I want to say Mario Party 5 had 7, and then there's Jamboree with 7. So it's like this game has a decent amount of content already in there. It's got a lot of boards. It's got a lot of mini games. They did the thing again of like they did with Super Mario Party, where it's like mini games are like tied to different modes. So it means in party mode you're playing a lot of the same ones. But it's not horrible. So Super Mario Party, the Super Mario Party games, Super Mario Party 1 and Jamboree, they're the more gimmicky ones. They're the ones that try to do more with the Switch hardware. So like for instance with Jamboree TV, they're adding the mouse control, the mouse support mode. They're adding multiple different games. They are adding stuff to party mode. They are adding the camera, the party mode. They're adding a new mode to party mode. 2 new modes actually to party mode. So I think for the $20 that you're paying, I think the upgrade's worth it. Just because you get the Switch 2 version, which I'm assuming there's going to be some like boosts in like frame rate and quality and all of that. But then also there's like the added mini games, there's the added modes, there's a decent amount. There's enough that they're adding that I think justifies the price. It's an expansion. It's adding on to the game. Because I feel like if they added more boards, I would almost want to say it would kind of segregate, like you can only play certain boards if if you all have like it becomes kind of messy in my opinion, especially because you can still play Jamboree with Switch 1 players. Like you could play Jamboree, but like if you add new boards into just Jamboree 2 or like TV, it kind of becomes messy. So I'm not upset that they didn't add new boards. I mean, it would have been cool. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't have liked it, but I don't think it was like a necessary move. Like it wasn't something that I was like, yeah, this game needed more boards. It's got 7. It's got a decent amount. Do you think the new SpongeBob game will be announced in the TCU Nordic event in August? Yes, I do think, or I'm literally 99% certain that in the event in 2 weeks, God, another event that's in like 2 weeks, God. I do think they are going to announce the new SpongeBob game. As to which, I mean, we know it's going to be another 3D platformer by Purple Lamp. So we're in for a good time. We're going to have to see. I got my Switch 2 recently. I got lucky enough to be the first line at Best Buy when Donkey Kong Bonanza released. Probably the easiest way I was going to get the new console. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I heard some Best Buys actually restocked the Switch 2 when Bonanza came out, so that's quite nice. It's probably a great way to do it, actually. Whenever a new game gets announced, Nintendo just also sends out a buttload of consoles out. So we'll see. Do you prefer that the Joy-Cons are now magnetic? Yes, I love the new Joy-Cons. They're so much better than the originals. Hey Neil, how you doing? Speaking of SpongeBob, did you see SpongeBob and Patrick's timeline twist up? I did not. Funny enough, as much as I love, like SpongeBob games and all of that, the show I haven't watched in years, like since I was a kid, really. I mean, like I've seen certain bits of the show. I've seen clips and I've seen, different things for the show online, but I haven't actually sat and watched the show in many, many years. Like I watch it if it's on. Like if I'm channel surfing and I see SpongeBob, I'm like, okay, I'll watch an episode of SpongeBob. But like I don't, especially now because they got like all these different shows. They got like the Camp Coral show, which I want to say is over, but I don't know. They got the Patrick show. Like it's just too much. Like now that I don't care, I just don't care enough to really like dive in and actually really watch that show or any of the shows. Is Mario Kart World better than 8 Deluxe? You see, that this is a heated debate. I would say yes. I'm trying to think of anything that, I mean, obviously the whole 3 laps thing kind of sucks, that you can't play really like 3 laps with people online. But I'm trying to think of anything that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did better than Mario Kart World. The tracks, I think, are better in World. Character selection is better in World. Yeah, I think World overall is just a better game. There are some things that it doesn't do as well as 8 Deluxe, but like battle mode, for instance, is kind of the big one, where I'm like, I think they kind of messed up the battle mode more than anything else in this game, in my opinion. The battle mode is just kind of not fun, at least in my humble opinion. But like the racing itself and Knockout Tour, stellar, phenomenal. Unlocking the characters can be a bit wonky, but at least like it's the weird NPC characters that are unlocked kind of the BS way. The main, like, actually, like, you know, like King Boo and Bowser Jr. and Birdo, like those characters you unlock through actually playing the races. And then a lot of the costumes you unlock through the shopping bags that just kind of show up on the course itself. So it's like most of the unlockables aren't that bad. It's just the random NPCs that are a bit of a pain. But, like, they're the random NPCs. You know, people are complaining about them. People are complaining, like, oh, look, why are there these random NPCs in this game when there's no Diddy Kong or whatever? But then they complain when they can't unlock them. It's like, pick a side, buddy. But either way, yeah. Like, I think, on the whole, World is better than 8 Deluxe. There are things, like I said, about 8 Deluxe that I like better, but on the whole, I'd say World is probably better. Well, it's basically about whether they go back in time to the old episodes where his family takes SpongeBob's place in the past. Oh, cool. What about free play in World? Like the open world? Like the open, like the free roam thing? It's pretty cool. Again, with open world, I just don't care enough about open world stuff to really be that interested in it. But I mean, thankfully, none of the character unlocking is really tied to the open world stuff. Like, a lot of the open world stuff is like the stickers and, you know, just different cosmetic options. Nothing too crazy or fancy, so I'm not really missing out by not really doing much of the open world exploration. It's not what I play Mario Kart for, basically. Speaking of Mario Kart World, do you think they'll add Double Dash mode via DLC and have it paired with Mario Kart Double Dash for NSO? No. I just feel like having a Double Dash mode would kind of... It just feels... like the mechanics of Double Dash are so different that people just kind of trying it and not knowing anything about Double Dash would be kind of like, what are we doing here? Plus, not to mention, you have to have new carts. You know, you have to have new items. You'd have to have so much new stuff added in to accommodate for the Double Dash mode that I don't think it's feasible. I don't think it's like... I don't think it makes sense for them to do. No, I did not try Welcome Tour. I have no desire in trying Welcome Tour, and I can just continue going on acting as if that game doesn't exist. I can show you guys, hold on, give me one quick second. Let me go grab my Switch 2, because it's over here by my bed. Oh, shoot. No, nothing. I broke my chair a while ago, and the arm, don't pretend you didn't, well, you probably didn't see that. Damn it. Well, either way. I'm actually, so, for those of you who don't know, I sold most of my Switch 1, or I'm selling my Switch 1 collection, like all of my physical games, and, so yeah, I'm selling all my physical Switch games, and moving to all digital on the Nintendo Switch 2. Just simply because I don't want to carry around cartridges anymore. It's getting kind of old whenever I travel, because I travel a lot, and it was getting kind of old having to switch out cartridges, trying to keep track of them all. So I want to show you guys my current Switch 2 collection of games. A lot of them, I mean, there was quite a few that were digital that were brought over from the Switch 1. But then I rebought some of the old ones I had. I rebought some of the old ones I had. So let me show you. So here's my Switch library. So I actually got quite a few. So let's see, 60 parsecs. Wow, 60 parsecs I already had. 60 Seconds Reatomize I already had. Among Us I already had. BioShock, these games, it was so cheap on the eShop, and I've always wanted to play the BioShock games, so I got all the BioShock games. Cyberpunk 2077, obviously, like, I got that at launch. Doctor Who: The Edge of Reality, I had that. That was a review code I was given a while back. Donkey Kong Bananza, obviously. Donkey Kong Returns HD, obviously, Nintendo gave me that a while ago. Dying Light. I didn't realize I had the digital. Oh, I think it was on sale. I got a lot of games when they were like on sale for really cheap. Fall Guys, I didn't install. FNAF Help Wanted, I had. I basically I installed all the digital games I already had, except for a few, like obviously Fall Guys I didn't install. And Doctor Who I didn't install, but I think the rest of them I did. All of them are installed. Like I said, for Doctor Who, Fall Guys. Got Fortnite, got the Game Boy NSOs, Golf Story. I got Hogwarts Legacy, obviously. Luigi Mansion 2 HD I rebought. Luigi Mansion 3 I tested something, so I still have the icon here. So I don't have Luigi Mansion 3 yet. I rebought Luigi Mansion 2 because it was on sale. Actually, no, I got it. I used the game voucher because I actually got Super Mario Party Jamboree because Jamboree TV comes out in a week. And I used the game voucher thing, and since I had a game voucher left, I figured I might as well get one of the Luigi's Mansions out of the way. So I got Luigi's Mansion 2. Let's see, what other games? We got Lego Harry Potter, Lego The Incredibles, the Life is Strange games. I missed the sale. I was going to get every single Life is Strange game because they were all on sale. Like the original, like these two. Well, I already had Before the Storm, but the original one was like $15 on sale. Or like it's so weird. Before on the eShop, these were two separate pages. You could buy these both separately, but they stopped that, and now you can only get them together. So it's like you had to pay the $40 for both, even if you already had Before the Storm digitally. So thankfully, it was on sale for $15, so I was like, okay, I can justify that, because $15 for this one game, for Life is Strange Remastered. And then, obviously, like I said, Luigi Mansion 2 HD. Mario Unleashed Brothership, obviously, Nintendo gave me that one. Mario Kart World, Minecraft, got the Nintendo Switch Online ones. Pac-Man World Repack was on sale. Resident Evil 4 was on sale. Already had this one. I got Battle for Bikini Bottom. Cosmic Shake I already had. 3D All-Stars. So 3D All-Stars is the only cartridge I've kept, and I keep 3D All-Stars permanently in my console because it's the only cartridge game I plan to have, so I might as well just keep it in the console so that I can always play one of the 3D Marios if I want to. We got Jamboree, we got the Super Nintendo Online, and we got the Dark Pictures Anthology games in YouTube. All of these, are you going all digital, Xbox and PlayStation? No. I don't get enough games on the Xbox and PlayStation to really justify it. And plus, the only reason I'm going digital with the Switch 2 is because of the traveling I do with it. I don't want to switch out the cartridges. It's the only reason. So, and something I actually plan on doing. So I've also started making groups. So I have this group here with all the Nintendo classic consoles. So we got NES, Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube. I put them all in order, kind of. And then I have this folder, which I put GameCube games in, basically. I said the GameCube NSO app, Super Mario 3D All-Stars 4 Sunshine, Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, Resident Evil 4. Basically, whenever I get a game that is a GameCube game, it's a game for, even, obviously Rehydrated is a remake, but it's a remake of a game from the GameCube. Anything that was playable on the GameCube, that has that GameCube nostalgia, I'm going to throw in here and be like, these are all the GameCube games you could play on the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, I had a lot more. At some point, I'm going to get back Metroid Prime Remastered. If Pikmin's 1 and 2 are ever, on sale, I don't want to buy those again at full price, but if it's ever on sale, I'm willing to pick those up. Like your haircut? Thank you, Gladly. So yeah, so those are all my my Switch, the games I have on the Switch 2 at the moment. I mean, I did play. I'm remembering now. Actually, I did play. Oh, this is bothering me. Hold on a second. I just gotta fix. There we go. I did play I did play the Switch 2 version of Rehydrated on stream a few weeks ago, or like a month ago, nearly, celebrating the 5th anniversary of it. But what do you think Harry Potter Quidditch World Champions did not do that good in me? It's so cheap now. See it like £6 now. Yeah, I definitely I've played it. It's fun. Is it on sale? Hold on. Well, I have one thing on sale. What's on sale? Oh no, that's the pre-order. Oh, Undertale's on sale. So yeah, I have basically every single game that I want. I have on this little wish list thing. So whenever it goes on sale, I check to see if it's gone on sale. And if it is, and if it's cheap, I consider buying it. I can take this off, actually. Because obviously I got the upgrade. I think there's another one on here I wanted to take off. Where is it? That's the thing there. I feel like there's another game that does like a duplicate or something. Maybe not. Resident Evil. Yeah, I want to get the Resident Evils back. I plan on getting them. I want to wait till they're on sale though. Also, hey Alec. Yeah, these are all the games that I'm like keeping an eye on. That I want. I don't know why the Loneliest. I think it's on here because I want to play. I'm gonna take it off now. I don't want this game. But yeah, obviously Outlast. I would love to get Outlast again. Obviously Luigi Mansion 3. I need to rebuy. Obviously Superstars is gonna be another one I rebuy. It's probably gonna be one of my next rebuys. Superstars. I think at some point I'm gonna get another voucher, another Nintendo game voucher, and Mario Party Superstars and Luigi Mansion 3 are gonna be my next two buys. I played a little bit of the Quidditch. Where is it? It's on here. Yeah, I played a little bit of the game. It's pretty fun. I don't know. I can't speak to like how successful it is or anything, because it's honestly like I played it on PC and it's a pretty fun game. I believe there is single player content, which could make it more worth it. But I want to wait for it to go on sale. I'm basically just waiting on all these to go on sale. Just kind of adding games as I think of them that I want. Just kind of waiting for them to go on sale. Like I said, these were all on sale. True Colors, Life is Strange 2. Life is Strange 2 was like $12. I don't know why I didn't get it. And then, yeah. Not as good as GameCube. Oh, the GameCube freaking Quidditch World Cup was stellar. That's such a fun game. I did a whole video about that game, funny enough. Where like I dressed up in my Harry Potter garb and all that. Oh, classic. Man, I really want Metroid Prime Remastered again. I want to get back into Metroid. I want to try and actually beat this game. Because every time I try to play it, I always get lost and then I give up because I'm a loser. Did you get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe digitally? No, that's why I think it's on this list. Or it might even not be on this list because of World, I have no real desire to get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, at least not right now. Sci-fi nerd would love Metroid. I mean, I from what I played of Metroid Prime Remastered, I played a bit of it on stream on this channel like 2 years ago maybe. I loved it. It's just that I get so confused with Metroid. I always get lost. Like there's a section like I'm playing Metroid Prime, or like, oh, I also have to rebuy it. But like I'm stuck. I'm literally stuck. I don't know where to go, and it's like I'll try to look up a guide to kind of help me out, but I can't find where in the guide. Like I have trouble locating where I am exactly in someone's playthrough to know what I'm supposed to do. Because I had him physical, yeah. It's because I had him physical So now, because I'm selling off all my physical stuff, obviously I gotta re-get the games that I had physically. I gotta re-get them digitally. So now I'm just being super picky about which ones I want at the moment. So that's why I rebought. I mean, I don't know if you were here when I showed off the list. I re-got Jamboree, and I re-got Luigi's Mansion 2. Those are the only ones that I re-got. Luigi's Mansion 3 I put in physically for a test, whatever. Mario Luigi Brothers Ship I had digitally. Donkey Kong Country Returns I had digitally. So they're the only like Nintendo games I have on here at the moment. This is such a... Can we also appreciate how random of an assortment of games I have freaking here? Like, people ask me, like, what is your taste in games? Like, what games do you like to play? Like, you can't get much different than 60 Seconds, to Cyberpunk, to Donkey Kong, to freaking Golf Story, to Life is Strange, to Lego The Incredibles, like, to Roller Coaster Tycoon, to SpongeBob, to the Dark Page Anthology. Like, I can't describe my taste in games. There's so... Yeah, Fortnite, yeah. Freaking Fortnite. Like, there's so many different kinds of games I just like to play. So, it's quite nice just having them all here. And all of these fit. I'm shocked. I still have quite a bit of space on my Switch too. Like, I think 70 gigs, which isn't a lot, but like I said, almost all of these are installed right now. Like I said, I think the only ones that aren't are Doctor Who: The Edge of Reality and Fall Guys. That's it. Let's see. So able to get a Switch 2. I'm loving it so far. Nice! That video was the last new game that features DK's rare design. Yeah. Rest in peace. I just can't wait to see him with the new design in the next Mario Party game. Might buy a Life is Strange game. Which one is best to buy on PS5? They're releasing on PlayStation 5. And exclusively on PlayStation 5. They're releasing a, hold on. On PlayStation 5, they're releasing a bundle of every single Life is Strange game. Hit the mic. Every single Life is Strange game with all the DLCs and all of the expansions. So Life is Strange 1, Before the Storm, Life is Strange 2, Life is Strange True Colors, and Life is Strange Double Exposure. All of them are going to be in a bundle for $60 on the PS5. It's physical only, but it is True Colors and Double Exposure are on the disc, and then Life is Strange's 1, 2, and Before the Storm are digital downloads. So if you don't mind those 3 being digital downloads, $60 for all 5 of them is a freaking steal. That comes out to what? $12 a game? $12 a game for all of them is a freaking good deal. Even something like Before the Storm, which is more of an expansion as opposed to like a fully fledged... Well, no, it's actually got enough content to warrant it being a fully fledged game. When's that out? Good question. I want to say... Give me a second to look that up. Life is Strange Collection, I guess is what it's called. It's launching on October 2nd. And the game box looks like this. Focus. Well, you can kind of see it. October 2nd. So, I'd recommend that if you were looking specifically for PS5, because Double Exposure, I'm one of the rare people that actually likes Double Exposure, even if it has a weaker story of all the Life is Strange games. But I still think it's a solid game, and that game is a $50 game, I think. So I'd say getting the bundle with every single one is worth it. If the genre is your type, if you like something from like Telltale games, it's very Telltale-esque, then you probably like it. I mean, the first game is just the best one. It just is. But Before the Storm is really good. 2 is really good. True Colors is really good. Like, they're all really good. They all got their strengths. Like, each one has their own things that are really, really good about it. So, why are you selling your physical games? Just so I don't have to worry about carrying all the cartridges everywhere. I hate hate carrying the cartridges. I hate, because I travel a lot. I'm always on the move, whether I'm going to visit my parents or I'm going to England to visit family or I'm going to a convention or whatever. I hate having to switch out cartridges and manage all of them. It was such a pain in the butt. And I literally debated halfway into the Switch's life, halfway into the Switch's life of going just digital and getting things digitally for the Switch. But talked myself out of it. But now that I'm like a proper adult, I'm in my late 20s now, and I'm just tired of having all the Switch cartridges around. I know, like, I'm a physical purist. As you guys can see, I love my physical games. But the Switch, the physical nature of it just feels so unnecessary. But yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll also quickly talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza, because I haven't touched on Donkey Kong Bonanza yet. Has anyone here played any of Donkey Kong Bonanza yet? I mean, I've only played up until what I finished on stream the other day, but I wanted to at least hear what you all have to say. I genuinely am really enjoying Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's really freaking fun. There's such a satisfying feeling with destroying the world and just completely punching out the environment, getting all the gold, all the treasures, all the fossils, all the banana chips, everything. There's just so much to collect in the world, and it's not like DK64 where it just feels overwhelming and tedious at points trying to get all the collectibles. Here, it just feels, it's almost like with Luigi's Mansion. Do people ever in Luigi's Mansion, because I know a lot of you like Luigi's Mansion here, do any of you ever just go around the rooms and open up everything to search for all the treasure? Vacuuming up the carpets, vacuuming the fans, opening every drawer, taking off every tablecloth. It's equivalent to that. That's how it feels, just going around, destroying the world, getting all this treasure that I still don't even really know what it all does. I know the fossils get you clothes. I still don't know what the banana chips get you. There's so much good stuff in this game, and I'm very excited. And yeah, it is very fun. Reminds you of Odyssey. I haven't gotten I haven't, but I recently got the game and I'm excited to play it. Reminds me of Odyssey. Yeah, it's very Odyssey coded, but in my opinion, I'm liking it more than I liked Odyssey so far. Just gonna say it. I don't want to say just yet that Donkey Kong Bonanza is better than Odyssey, but I'm liking it more than I liked Odyssey, which is crazy because I'm not the biggest DK fan. DK, the Donkey Kong games have never been my favorite. They've never been the games where I'm like, ooh yeah, those are games I love playing all the time. But Bonanza, I'm like, man, this is some really freaking solid stuff. It has a lot of those 3D Mario elements while still feeling true to a Donkey Kong game. So, we'll see. Let's see, fun fact, gameplay. Wait, Donkey Kong Bonanza's gameplay was taken from the endings of Mario Odyssey. It just made it the entire game. Have you noticed that? Honestly, I barely remember the ending of Mario Odyssey, to be honest. What I think about Until Dawn on the PS5, I think it's a good game. I did a review on that, I think. I love searching every nook and cranny in Luigi's Mansion, so DK is my kind of game. Yeah, it's literally that same exact feeling. It's that same exact feeling of just pointlessly going around and collecting treasure. Again, I don't know what it does yet, but it feels satisfying to do, so I'm gonna do it. The movement, I'm still getting used, because the movement does take a little bit of getting used to, because, you can climb on walls, you can do all sorts of wild things, and I'm still getting used to it. But it's so much fun, and it feels so fluid. It feels so natural to do. That game or the section, in the very, very beginning, where there's that tunnel of just, pure gold. The absolute freaking, instinct, I guess is the word I'm trying to think of. The desire, that's the word. The desire to just go and just, punch every single little nugget of gold off the walls for no reason other than just to... It's like a mix of Luigi's Mansion with collecting all the gold, and if you've ever played something like Power Wash Simulator, where you're power washing every single, all the houses, and you got to get every single little spot. It's like that as well, and it's so freaking satisfying. And you can find your own shortcuts. And I saw something, it was Donkey who posted it, actually, when I watched his Donkey Kong Bananza video. Something that is really cool and just shows great game design. That section, again, in the beginning of the game, where there are those 3 banana chips behind like an iron girder wall. There are multiple ways that you could get to them. In my stream, I tunneled under the metal gate, because there's like a conveyor belt and you can like tunnel under it. But I didn't realize you could also just go around it. Like there's different ways to solve puzzles, and I love that. I love when there's just so many different ways and methods to doing the same exact thing, to playing the same game. And I love that. I love Bananza for that. What inspired your new logo? I wanted to shake up my old logo. So if you haven't seen the new logo, it's on the channel. You can probably see it below. And I just wanted to shake up. I've had the same logo since 2021. And I reached out to my friend Daniel over at GVG, because I know he does a lot of graphic design stuff. And I was like, hey, I'm wanting to shake up my logo. I want it to still kind of feel like the original logo, but I want something a little bit different. I just something visually different, just a shake up, because with the release of the Switch 2, I've been wanting to shake things up a little bit with the channel and just do some different things. And bringing in a new era, I wanted to update the logo, because the logo's been the same since 2021, so I wanted to change it up. And he was like, right, and him and I worked together. We thought, oh, it'd be kind of cool, because I'm Zach Pack, to put my game on put my name on like a game pack, and then it's for game pack. And I was like, that's actually a really good idea, because Daniel was the one that brought that up. And sure enough, he did the whole intro and stuff for it. And I'm really happy with how it looks. I love how much more vibrant I feel like my logo is now. I feel like it's a little more colorful. It's a little more bright. It's a little more attention grabbing. You guys aren't talking DK spoilers. No, I haven't played much of DK Bananza. Anything that I talk about with DK Bananza is from the beginning of the game, from the first world and the tutorial level. Like, that's all I've played, so that's all I know. So, I mean, unless you're concerned about, everything that I know from what I've played was in that direct. So if you've seen that Donkey Kong Bananza direct, that's as much as will be spoiled. When you think you talk about DK, we're going to boot it up again. What do you think of DK's pricing? It's not $80, so I'll take it. $70, look, right? $80 I have a problem with Nintendo games, because that's $10 above the premium price nowadays. $70 is just the new normal, I think, with gaming going forward, and it sucks that Nintendo's doing it too now. But if $70 is the new premium, if the game that you're gonna get for $70 is going to be the most quality Nintendo game you can get, I'm fine with this game being $70. If this is just going to be the standard pricing going forward. I think, personally, this game, well, I can't even say this game has more value than Mario Kart World, because they're two completely different games. I know, like, some people are like, oh, like, now that Donkey Kong Bananza's out, Mario Kart World's going to be irrelevant. No. It's Mario Kart. Mario Kart never goes irrelevant. People are going to play Donkey Kong Bananza, they're going to beat it within the first couple weeks, and then they'll probably go back to playing some Mario Kart until the next Nintendo release. Like, these are two completely different games, right? Mario Kart, so you can't necessarily compare them, because you got a 3D platformer and a party racing game. Two different beasts. You can't compare them. So, for the price, and for the fact that we have to start looking at not the $80 price tag, but the $70 price tag, as this is just what games cost nowadays on every platform. On Xbox, on PlayStation, games are $70. So as a regularly premium priced title, I think it's fine. I hate paying $70 for a game, but if at least it means that the games are going to be as quality as DK Bananza is, if the $70 games are this quality, I'm fine with it. Just the $80 games are going to get me like, why? Why does this game justify being $10 above the premium price? Like, what's the what's the point? What's the point? But we'll see. I think I missed a comment here too. I had that feeling too. The amount of exploring the game is amazing. I'm not to a DK game, smashing things up, exactly. Like it feels like they really took the time to focus on how it feels to move DK around, and what I love is that like everything just feels like there's like an attention to detail put to it. Like between the level design, the moveset that DK has, just everything just feels like they spent time making it really good. So that's why I don't mind paying $70 for this one, because it just feels like there actually was the work put in to justify it actually being a premium price title. Good, I don't own the game or Switch 2 yet, so I'm having to follow the Let's Play on a particular guy on YouTube for now. I think I spoiled a little bit about that, tell you what it is. Obviously, yeah. Like, I know some spoilers that I did get ruined to online. I'm not going to say them here, and please don't comment them, because we don't want to ruin anything for anyone else, but, you know, some spoilers will come out, and it sucks. But I know Just Jess, if you guys know her, she's super cool. She has been streaming Donkey Kong Bananza, and she's avoided Nintendo Directs and everything for this game, and so she's playing it, and you know, she got to the part, this isn't a spoiler, we all know this, that Odd Rock turns to Pauline, and she was mind blown because she didn't watch the Direct, and it's kind of like oh my god, like this is what gaming used to be like. It's hard, like, you know, like you could always just say, you know, avoid the internet and just, you know, try to go into the game without seeing much. But that's the hard thing about being a content creator and doing this, you know, covering video games and such, is I'm gonna be spoiled to it. Like, for the channel, I gotta watch the Nintendo Directs, and even if I don't, someone's gonna bring it up. You know, it's hard, especially for something like Luigi's Mansion, for instance. I would love to go into a new Luigi's Mansion game blind. I would love to just go and play a new Luigi's Mansion game, not know a thing about it, and be surprised by every floor, by every ghost, by everything. But given my position, given my channel and what I do, I would not be able to do that. Because if there's a new Luigi's Mansion game coming out, it's going to get, first of all, it's going to get me the views that I need to keep my channel relevant. And, you know, covering Luigi's Mansion is what I do. When Luigi Mansion 3 came out, you gotta remember how many videos and live streams I did covering that game. The excitement I had, because it's like so rare that we get a new Luigi's Mansion game, so it makes me excited to actually devote my time analyzing it. So I don't get that luxury of just being able to go into a Luigi's Mansion game, or any really Nintendo game, and be completely surprised and not expect things. You know, it's really hard. Let's see, when do you think the Nintendo Direct will be announced? I don't think the Nintendo Direct's happening this week, so if it happens next week, the week of the, hold on, pulling up calendar, of the 28th, I think it would be announced on the 28th or the 29th, to be Wednesday or Thursday. Let's see here. It doesn't really help that Nintendo shares so many trailers before the game's released these days. Yeah, but that's one thing I liked about how they... I liked how they handled, like... I feel like DK it got a lot of information, but I feel like it didn't get a lot of spoilers. We didn't see every single one of the Bananza abilities. There are certain aspects of the story that we did not know. Like, there were so many things people online were questioning and theorizing about the story. I feel like with DK Bananza, they definitely held back on spoiling the game. I feel like Mario Kart was an instance where they showed too much. Where, with Mario Kart World, they showed everything, and people were like, oh, there's got to be more. There's got to be some secrets. But no, they just showed everything. So what I hope they do with the next Luigi's Mansion game is I hope they find a nice middle ground of, like, kind of like with what they did with DK, where it's like show off the game enough to where we get a basic grasp on what the game is going to be, but keep some of the story elements, and I'd even say a lot of the ghosts, unknown. I would say keep them a secret, keep them pretty hidden, just so that we don't know what to expect. Because then I can still cover the game, I can still cover every trailer, analyze everything, and theorize, but still go into the game and not know much. Because, like, by the time you saw all the trailers for Luigi's Mansion 3, you knew what all the ghosts were, like the common ghosts. Some of the portrait ghosts, the human ghosts, they didn't really show off much, so they were a good surprise for the most part. But I want the whole game to feel like that. Let's see here. Oh my god, same Luigi's Mansion 3 was completely spoiled from leaks to me, and I saw every floor, gotta get to play it myself. Yeah, well, it isn't even leaks, right? It isn't even leaks, it's just Nintendo showed off everything. Like, I remember doing a live stream, one of the early Chaturdays, if you remember, like, Zach Pack's early Chaturdays, before there's any kind of structure or any kind of fancy stream overlay. It was literally just me in my college dorm. Do you guys, shout out if you were here in the earliest Chaturday streams, back in, like, 2019, when I was in college. God. But, like, I remember sitting there in my college dorm on my little crappy little laptop, just like looking at like the picture of the mansion and trying, using the context clues of the tower itself to say what floor was what theme and all of that. And that was just based on information that Nintendo gave us. That was not leaks. That was not something that came out when it wasn't supposed to. And like I loved, like, if you guys remember something I remember covering in 2019 with Luigi Mansion 3, obviously. E3, when we saw the Trapper Ghost for the first time. When we, like, and it wasn't even in gameplay. It was at the Nintendo E3 booth, where they had, like, holograms, whatever, of the ghosts around the exhibit. And the Trapper Ghost was there, and someone took a picture of it and said, oh, this is a new ghost. We did not know what it did. We did not know anything about it. We just knew what it looked like. We had no context for it. And it was one of the coolest things ever because we got to speculate on it. And no answer was given until we got to play the game. And that's the kind of thing I want to see more with Luigi's Mansion 4. Give us glimpses of some ghosts. Let us see some of them, but don't give us any context. Don't give us any, like, let us experience it for ourselves without knowing from trailers and all of that stuff. Like, the couple months after E3, when we were all speculating on the Trapper, and I say we all, whoever was here with me during that time, I remember speculating on what that ghost was. I remember thinking, well, with Luigi's Mansion, the 3DS remake, they were talking about the goo and how goo was being used, like, for some paranormal research for EGAD, and I remember thinking, like, what if this Trapper Ghost, because it has a heavy resemblance to the Gold Ghost from the original Luigi's Mansion, what if this ghost is a twisted, experimented on version of the Gold Ghost? Like, there were so many thoughts, and of course end up being not that cool, but like, even still. Let's see here. Speaking of Pauline, any thoughts on Pauline's voice acting for now? I think it's good, but I can see that her voice is a bit too generic. I mean, for what I've seen of her, it's been fine. I mean, the thing is, she's a kid as well. It's a kid character, so you're not going to give a kid this super in-depth, complicated, complex dialogue. Okay. Music is a weird thing there. So, like, you know, I'm not too bothered about Pauline style, especially because, like, it's a DK game. I don't expect the writing and the dialogue to be top tier. Movie trailers are like this too. The new Stranger Things trailer it's long. It gives away so much. I mean, I haven't seen the trailer. I don't watch Stranger Things, but yeah, like a lot of movie and TV trailers kind of do the same thing, where they'll show off just too much. It leaves little to be imagined. It doesn't let you kind of wonder and speculate and theorize what could possibly be there. So we'll see. When do you think Mario Party will come to NSO? Do you think it'll come to NSO this year? I'm thinking not, just because of the lineup of games we already had and Mario Party wasn't on that list. They could surprise us, but
but I do feel like they're going to add the Mario Party titles in one at a time, or at most two at a time. Like, I don't think we're going to get all 4 Mario Parties dropped in one go. Like I said, I think at most we'll get 2 games dropped in a go. So I'd say next year, we'll probably see Mario Party 4. Like, I think maybe early next year we could see Mario Party 4. Maybe like at the end of next year we'll see Mario Party 5 maybe, or like something along those lines. Is kind of what I'm thinking for Mario Party on NSO, for the GameCube ones. Common Ghosts were another thing. They showed all the ghosts with trappers. They weren't even in the game other than 2 or 3 spots on Trapper Photo. I love that kind of excitement. I love more of that. Yeah, like there's that excitement of not knowing what it was. And it didn't help with Luigi's Mansion 3 that there were just so minimal ghost types. There were so few that like we saw a lot of the goobs and we saw a lot of the hammers at that time. So, like, we saw some oozers and some slinkers, whatever, but the goobs and the hammers were what we saw the most of in the promotion, and which was nice because it meant the oozers and the slinkers were a little bit of a surprise, even though they were functionally identical to some of the ghosts from Luigi's Mansion 2. But like, the goobs and the hammers was like, oh my god, we're seeing all these goobs. I remember that being a huge thing for me. Like, why are we seeing so many of these generic-looking blue ghosts? We're not seeing much variety like Luigi's Mansion 1 or even Luigi's Mansion 2 had. So I'm really hoping that the next Luigi's Mansion game really levels things up. That's no pun intended for next level games. It's kind of like what happened with the Mario Brothers movie trailers. Yeah, exactly. I honestly, with how big in scope Mario Kart World and DK Donkey Kong Bananza are, I am starting to get higher hope and higher expectations for games like Luigi's Mansion 4, especially because like now we're this year, right? This is gonna be kind of a wild thing to think about, but October of this year, around approximately, maybe give or take a few months, but like this year, it'll be the same amount of time from now, or from when Luigi Mansion 3 released till now. It's the same amount of time from when Luigi Mansion Dark Moon released to 3, because Dark Moon was about 6 years, like 6.5 years between Dark Moon and 3, and we're approaching 6 years since Luigi Mansion 3 came out. So, it's been a decent gap. So I'm really hoping that they're actually, really building something big up with the next Luigi's Mansion game, especially with how well 3 sold. I feel like with Luigi's Mansion 3, they knew it would be a success. They knew, like, it's Luigi's Mansion, it'll probably sell decently well. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon sold pretty well. But now, with how well Luigi's Mansion 3 sold, and I'd even say Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, for what it is, sold pretty well. I think it sold 2 million units? Maybe? So, like, a late Switch title that no one was excited for, that they didn't do a great job of marketing. 2 million units, around then, right? Hold on. Yeah, well, there's an article here. Luigi Mansion 2 HD sold 1.19 million units in its first month. So, like, so I think it's around, hold on, sales numbers. So yeah, as of March 31st, 2025, the game has sold 1.88 million units. So let's say it sold about 2 million units by this point, because that number is 4 months old about. So let's say 2 million units for Luigi Mansion 2 HD. That is not bad for a game like that. So I think with those kinds of sales numbers, I feel like Nintendo probably do have high, or next level games probably be like, okay, we can really cook with this next one. So I'm kind of hoping they do. I'm really hoping that they do. I feel like that's kind of what happened with, funny enough, with Mario Party, where where Super Mario Party, I feel like they weren't expecting it to sell that well. Just because the sales of the past few Mario Party games have been pretty poor. But then it ended up dominating. Super Mario Party sold a ridiculous amount of units. So they were like, oh, let's actually lock in. And then they made Superstars. And then they made Jamboree, 2 freaking stellar Mario Party games. So it's like, okay, so they do know how to make a Mario Party game. But we'll see. Let's see. Speaking of the Mario movie, have you seen that Mario movie 2 leak? Putting leak in a sense because I'm pretty sure it's false. I haven't heard of any leaks for the Mario movie sequel. I mean, I saw a DK movie apparently in the works because of some, I guess, like copyright, like something that Universal's done, whatever. Like they reserved the name or something. So I know that there's a DK movie supposedly in the works, but I don't know of any leak for the Mario Maker. Mario Maker, keep saying that. Mario movie sequel. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. Because DK Bananza, I think I basically said everything I need to say about that. The Nintendo Direct, I mean, like I said, the Nintendo Direct, I'm assuming it's going to happen within the next couple of weeks. I mean, obviously there's rumors and, oh yeah, there's that. I hope the DK movie one is real. I feel like it's going to be if they're licensing the name. It could be like one of those things where it's like they're preemptively doing it. But like, we're not going to see it for a while. If they're just registering the name now, we're not going to see that for a while. But yeah, with the Nintendo Direct, I feel like we could see something not this coming week, but the next week. I mean, because between the Pokemon Presents, I'm pretty certain there's a Pokemon Presents this week, right? Am I crazy? Pokemon Presents. Tuesday, July 22nd. Yeah, so in 3 days from now. So, and it's at 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. here. Like 9 a.m. Eastern, I should say. So, between the, the Pokemon Presents, and then we have the Super Mario Party Jamboree, I don't think next week makes much sense for Nintendo Direct. So I do think we're going to see it, if we do see it, in July. I think we're going to see it in 2 weeks. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping, I mean, listen, I'm not much of a Pokemon guy, so I don't have much expectations. Obviously, I'm not going to stream the event just because I don't have enough interest in Pokemon to really feel inclined to stream the event. But I'm hoping that, I mean, something I would like maybe something like gold and silver to be added to NSO. I know they'd have to do yellow and blue, or yellow, red, blue, whatever, the first generation, whatever. I know they'd have to do that because I know silver and gold is second gen, but like I love second gen. I mean, it's because I grew up with it. So, you know, any kind of Pokemon on Game Boy NSO would be cool. I think they announced Pokemon Coliseum for NSO, right? Am I going crazy? Am I tripping on that? Did they announce Pokemon Coliseum and Gale of Darkness? Oops. Yeah, they have Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, and I think Coliseum as well. Yeah, Pokemon Coliseum and Gale of Darkness were on there. So, I think those would be pretty cool. I wonder if they would be August titles. Doing both of them. I mean, do both of them. I don't know. Like, I just want them to release more GameCube games so badly. I don't want one a month. I know I said I'd be fine with one a month, but I'm getting impatient. Because I like Mario Strikers, but I just want a game. I want one of my favorite games to be added to the freaking service already. Because I don't care that much about F-Zero. Don't care much about Soul Calibur. I don't care much about. I mean, I like Mario Strikers, but it's not my favorite. And what was the other one? Wind Waker is fine. Yes, I would love to actually go and play that one a little bit more. But like, give me like a Mario Sports game. Give me Luigi's Mansion. Give me Mario Party. Give me Chibi Robo. Give me Eternal Darkness. Give me WarioWare. Like one of those ones I know that I'll play a lot, and it'll at least tide me over while we wait for some of these other ones, because none of the ones that are on there are enough to tide me over personally. I'm a Poke Boomer. Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I'm a Poke Boomer, but like, in the sense to where it's like, I was never a big Pokemon person. I just know the ones I played as a kid that I just liked. And like, I didn't ever care for the latest releases. I didn't ever care too much. I got Pokemon X, and I liked that one a lot. I liked Pokemon X a lot, actually. That's like one of my next favorites under Gold and Silver. But like, yeah, Gold and Silver. Oh, Gold particularly is the one I played. And there was the Game Boy Advance ones. I remember watching my stepbrother at the time play. I want to say it was like Ruby or Fire Red. It was one of the red ones. I remember the red cartridge. But you know, like I remember watching those ones as a kid. So I do have a little bit of nostalgia for, I guess, like 3rd gen as well. But like, not from playing it or anything, just from watching my stepbrother play it. And then Pokemon X, like I said, I played. Probably like them all since Pokemon X comparison. Really? Let's see. If I ever hate the tendency to trickle down updates for the services, oh my god, tell me about it. At least if you're gonna trickle down, at least launch with a decent amount of games, not just 3. Anyways, let's see. Any thoughts on the confirmed Legend of Zelda movie actors? I imagine that you also don't know anything about them, but I think they look pretty accurate to the characters. Yeah, I incorrectly assumed, as someone who's not a big Legend of Zelda guy, I always thought there was like a hidden subtext of a romantic like thing between Link and Zelda. So I had that in my mind when I saw the casting, and I kind of looked into both of the actors and I saw their ages and I was like, oof. Like, but then like some people said like it's not really like a big focus. Like there's some games that lean into it, but a lot that don't as well. So as long as they don't lean, as long as there's no real inkling of a romantic thing between Link and Zelda, then I'm fine with both of those actors. I don't know either of them, but I'm happy that they chose 2 unknowns. I know there's a lot of people are up in arms about them not choosing Hunter Schafer, and I feel like she would have been a good choice, but I feel like people are upset. People are like, oh my god, how could Hunter Schafer not be chosen? What did Hunter Schafer audition for the part? Or I feel like I saw Hunter Schafer more as a fan casting as opposed to someone who's actually like in contention for the role. I feel like people are like, oh, look at Hunter Schafer, she looks exactly like Zelda, like this is the perfect casting, and then she didn't get cast, and then everyone's like, oh my god, how could you not cast Hunter Schafer? I was like, and because when I saw all of that, I was like, I thought that was a fan casting. That was someone that people wanted to be Zelda. I don't know. I don't think she had an audition. I think fans just wanted her. Yeah, like, I thought I heard it, like, that people wanted Hunter Schafer. And to be fair, she does have a heavy resemblance to looking like Zelda. But if she didn't audition for the part, plus, I think that she was too old for the part anyways. I think they wanted someone younger. I think Hunter is, like, 26-ish. Like, mid to late 20s. And they wanted someone late teens, early 20s. Like, I don't know. This new girl, wasn't he Bo Bragason or something like that? She looks the part. She does look the part. She looks like she could be a good Zelda. She looks like I said, I don't know anything that she's acted in. I don't know her acting abilities. So I mean, as long as she's a good actress, I think she's perfectly good as Zelda. And Ben something is Link, and I think he looks fine too. He's a little young, a little younger than I was anticipating. He's like 16 or something like that, which is why I said like the age thing. Like I was like, I don't know the romantic subplots, whatever of Zelda, but like I said, people told me that there's really none, so it's fine. Because Ben the kid or like Link is the character, the actor that plays Link is 16 or something like that, and the actress who plays Zelda is like 21 or 22, so like, you know, but Link, Ben, I think his name's Ben, Benjamin, something like that. He looks the part. And I saw some people being like, oh, but he isn't blonde. And I'm like, wigs exist for a reason. Hair dye exists for a reason. So I think the casting's fine. I think the casting looks good. I just need to see their acting ability. Let's see. Those Gen 1, 2 games did not age well, not including the remakes, obviously. I've never played Heart Gold. Heart Gold is one that I actually do really want to play, but it's ridiculously expensive, so I never really, like, felt that incentivized to play it. Just tune in. What do you expect? The next big three closer? For the closer, I'm expecting one of two things for closing out Nintendo Direct. I'm expecting 3D Mario or Animal Crossing. It's kind of where my head goes for what a title big enough. Like Luigi's Mansion 4, I don't think would be a direct closer. As much as I love Luigi's Mansion 4, I think it's the best thing Nintendo's ever done. I don't think that's a Nintendo Direct closer. I think it would be 3D Mario or Animal Crossing. As to which one I think is more likely at this current time, I'd say probably 3D Mario. But actually, no. Given that we just got 3D Donkey Kong, actually, you know, it could be Animal Crossing. It could be Animal Crossing. Especially because I know a lot of people have been wanting a new Animal Crossing game because New Horizons just wasn't it for them. Excuse me, so we'll see. Hello, Zach. Back. Do you think Nintendo could announce Animal Crossing New Leaf? Oh, Animal Crossing. Super Mario Suckers and Galaxy 2 plus Bowser Party for Switch 2. What's Bowser Party? From Mario Party 10? But I mean, anything's possible. I feel like if they remade a New Leaf, I feel like that would go well with people. I feel like if they just, like, remade, like, not just remastered it, but, like, completely remade New Leaf, added some elements from New Horizons, and maybe some other new things, I feel like people would really like that. Just because people love New Leaf. People love New Leaf. They eat that up like it's chocolate cake. So, just remake it. Add more elements from New Horizons into it. Use New Horizons engine. And add some more new stuff to it. There you go. No, it's popular fan cast. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't think she ever auditioned. Yeah. This Nintendo Land 2, Nintendo Land for Switch 2. Nintendo Land for Switch 2 would be interesting. She does look a lot like Zelda, to be fair, but if she didn't audition, she didn't audition. Yeah, exactly. Like, if she's not auditioning for the film, or if she's not, like, if she is too, how old, hold on, how old is Hunter Schafer? Yeah, she's 26. So, if Hunter Schafer's 26 years old, and Nintendo were looking for someone between, I think they said between 15 and 23, I want to say is where they were looking. Hunter Schafer's too old for the part. Like, you can't do much about it if you're just not the demographic they're looking for. Why didn't they do an Illumination NCU? Oh, Nintendo Cinematic Universe? I don't know. I mean, they just don't want to do that. I feel like it's one of those things where cinematic universes are now just so overdone. Nintendo's always kind of like to go to the beat of their own drum. Like, not rely too much on trends. So I feel like a cinematic universe and doing something like that not only would just be kind of following a trend, but would also just kind of be a commitment for Nintendo. They would have to commit to do a bunch of different Nintendo movies, some of which would probably not do that well, right? Like, if Nintendo did, like, a Pikmin movie, how many people would go out to watch a movie about Pikmin? Would it do well? Would it be a commercial success? They could probably get away with Kirby. They could probably get away with Animal Crossing. Could probably get away with, though I don't know what the plot of that would be. Pokemon, obviously, we already have Detective Pikachu. Like, obviously, you know, Legend of Zelda, what they're doing, something live action, whatever. Like, they could do it, but it would be a commitment that I feel like would just kind of be pointless, in my humble opinion. Do you think Luigi Mansion 4 will be revealed in this next Nintendo Direct? I think this is the first Nintendo Direct since Luigi Mansion 3 was announced where I think we could see a new Luigi Mansion game. I think this next Direct, I would say my certainty on Luigi Mansion 4 being announced in this next Nintendo Direct, I would say I'm at a 60-40. I'm at a 60% chance, or 60% mindset of it is likely to be shown. It could definitely be shown here. I'm pretty likely, not certain. I don't want to say certain, because that makes it sound definite. I'm pretty convinced that we could see Luigi Mansion 4 in this Direct. And then the 40% is, I feel like they could hold off a little bit longer. But I don't know. I do feel like we could see Luigi Mansion 4. I do feel like we could see it. Let's see. I was talking with my cousin about the Legend of Zelda casting today, and said she would cast John Cena as Ganondorf. I mean, not necessarily a bad choice, but it's kind of cursed. And I want someone who has a little bit more. I'm trying to think of who, well, actually, no. I had someone pop into my mind, like an actual famous person. Like, I'm assuming whoever's gonna play Ganondorf is also gonna be a not widely recognized person, kind of like Link and Zelda are. But I don't know why my brain went to Terry Crews. Imagine Terry Crews as freaking Ganondorf. I think I went to Terry Crews because of his voice, because he has that kind of deeper kind of voice, kind of attitude-y voice that I feel like Ganondorf would have. Because I mean, yeah, if we're talking about big name actors, I don't know who I'd even want as Ganondorf. I mean, it would obviously be someone obviously very big, very masculine, very muscly. If it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I'm not watching the movie. If it's someone like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, as Ganondorf, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not even watching the movie at that point. Let's see. Do you think a Splatoon movie could do well? I think. I don't think Splatoon is big enough to where it would do well cinematically, especially with how weird of a concept Splatoon is, and also how would you transform that into a movie? Not sure about that. Let's see. I saw. Oh, I already read that. What's in my mind? No, if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was Ganondorf, listen, this might be a hot take. I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is one of the worst actors of all time. I think he's a horrible actor. I never like anything that he's in. His acting is so flat. He basically is the same character in every movie he's in. The strong guy that could take a hit, who's known for his muscles and his abs. It's a borderline cliche at this point. If you see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the movie, you automatically know what character he's playing. I would just, if I saw that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was cast as Ganondorf, I would just sigh. Because, I don't know. I just think he's I just don't think he's a good actor. Jack Black is Ganondorf. No, Jack Black's too short. If he were taller, his attitude, his mannerisms, his beard, I actually could kind of see it. But because of how short he is, I can agree with The Rock being a bad actor. Yeah, I never like anything that he's in. Jumanji, I didn't care for his character. Jungle Cruise, I didn't care for his character. Just anything he's in, I'm just if I see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's gonna be in a movie, I'm just At least because usually he's he'll be paired up with Kevin Hart or something. At least Kevin Hart's a little bit funny, but I don't know. Weird Al, yeah, actually, hold on, low key, I love Weird Al. I can see Weird Al. Ooh, actually no, Weird Al as by Backpacker Guy. Are you talking about the Happy Mask Salesman? Because that's where my brain went to with him. And then I was like, you might be talking about the same person, because Happy Mask wears the giant backpack with all the masks. I can see Weird Al as like the Happy Mask salesman, because he's got that very wacky, just oddball characteristics to him. Like he's the one celebrity casting that I would be like, you know what? I can see it. I can see it. I'm trying to think of any other, because like Tingle, you can really, Danny DeVito would work well as Tingle in my opinion, right? Just put a weird, funny guy in a Tingle costume, have him be a minor cameo appearance, maybe a minor cameo appearance. That'd be weird for Miyamoto. I don't think Miyamoto's got that spunk to him. Like, yeah, Miyamoto's a little bit animated, but I don't think he's got that spunk that someone like Weird Al has. But then, yeah, like, then someone like Danny DeVito for Tingle. Steve Buscemi. I think Steve Buscemi, the problem with him is Tingle. I feel like he's too lanky. He's too skinny. Like, Tingle, I kind of imagine kind of someone who's short, a little on the bigger side. I think Danny DeVito kind of fits that a little bit better. But, I mean, I guess he could be a little skinnier, too. I guess the weight of Tingle, of all characters, doesn't really matter that much. I'm just trying to think of in terms of, like, how the characters are actually designed. But, I don't know. I enjoy Weird Al as a singer, as a voice actor. I liked him in My Little the same way in My Little Pony. Yeah, I love Weird Al. Weird Al is one of those, like, celebrities that, like, there's not a bad bone in his body, and he just seems really genuine, and I just kind of just really like him. Yeah, I think Weird Al is just, he's a good guy. And if he got cast in the Zelda movie as a character, I wouldn't even be upset. Actually, you know what? Put Weird Al as Tingle, because I can just imagine Tingle singing a little tune. Because does Tingle sing in Majora's Mask? I'm trying to remember. I don't think he does. But I could just hear Tingle like doing like a little tune. Maybe like he can like whistle White and Nerdy, or like you know, one of his, well, White and Nerdy isn't a classic song, but you know what I mean, from Weird Al. Like, you know, it's one of his more popular ones that everyone knows. Well, I guess though, if he's whistling a song that everyone already knows, and he does parodies, it could just seem like he's whistling the original song. But, yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, I think I'm gonna start wrapping up this Chaturday in a few minutes. I've been streaming for nearly 2 hours, which is longer than I thought I was gonna stream, to be honest, given how I was kind of feeling this morning. So any last minute questions, any last minute things you want to discuss before I head out? Because I'm trying to think. I'm most likely going to be around next weekend for a Chaturday. I'm most likely going to be able to stream. So I'll probably be back next week. And keep in mind also, I'm going to be part of a Mario Kart tournament later. A bunch of us in the Mario Party Madness server, we're going to be playing Mario Kart World. A lot of other people are going to be streaming. Who's in my group that'll probably be streaming it? Hold on, let me... who's in my group? I know SwiftJar's in my group, but he probably won't be streaming. Draco might be streaming. I feel like Draco would probably be streaming the game. Hold on, let me... Here. So 112, myself, SwiftJar, Draco, Ryder might stream it, and Stacy. I don't think Stacy would stream it. But either way, if I'm streaming it later, or I'm not gonna be streaming it, but if someone's streaming it from my team later that I'm on the voice call with, I'll share the stream info for you guys. But yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. Also, Zach, you look and sound like Pete Campbell from Mad Men. Look him up and tell me if you agree. Oh, I'm scared about this. Was it Pete Campbell? You think I look like him? Wait, I can kind of see it. I mean, we have very similar eyes. His forehead is about as humongous as mine. Hairstyles are different, but no, I can see it. Our noses are a little bit different. And his ears are less egregious than mine. So I can see it. What characters would to see in a DK movie if it really happened? I mean, DK, Cranky would obviously be there. I would want Diddy and Dixie to have a heavier emphasis. I mean, those 4 characters are really kind of the main ones. I mean, it'd be cool to see, like, Chunky Kong, or Kitty Kong, or Candy Kong, or Wrinkly Kong. Any of the other Kongs. I started to see, like, his voice. Oh, God. Hold on, let me... I'm not gonna...
Listen to me very carefully. We are not adopting a child.
That does not sound like me.
Hey, how did that happen?
I put us on the list, and
That does not sound like me. I'm not gonna play it too much longer because of copyright, whatever. But does that sound like me? I feel like his voice is higher pitched. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna head off now. Thank you guys so much for watching this stream. Like I said, I'll probably be back around next weekend for another Chaturday. I'll let you guys know though, things have been super freaking busy for me. I've been out of my mind busy. So, obviously I'll keep you guys posted. If there's a Nintendo Direct in a couple weeks, then obviously we'll be reacting to that as well. I'll try to do it live. We'll have to see on that. I don't know what else to say. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, see you all in the next stream.